You look familiar.
How you doing, Gary? Good seeing you. Yes, good seeing you guys.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Gino, was there a time, where you came here and it was just kind of surreal? And has that, did you have that feeling when you first got back here?
Yeah, I would say my first day back in the building. Just the first, coming in for physicals and just walking down that hall again. It was the very first hall I walked down when I, got drafted, and all those feelings come back. Just great feelings, great memories. Seeing my mom in the locker room, and I started just thinking about just my first time in the NFL, first time here. But immediately it clicked right back in. I got to get to work, and I just got right back to that. And so I'm really excited to be here, and even seeing all you guys' faces again. It's really cool.
What's it been like learning Frank's offense, and how would you describe it?
It's been, first of all, Coach Reichs has done a phenomenal job with teaching. He's very detailed in the way that he teaches the offense, very meticulous in what he wants from us and how he wants us to execute. It's been great. To answer your question, I think we're building one day at a time. We're competing. We're getting better every single day. And Coach Reich is leading that ship. And, with him at the helm, man, I feel really great about it.
What's the process been like for you getting in sync with Garrett? Because he's obviously such a unique player, and he has the ability to improvise on his guys and stuff.
Yeah, it's really Garrett's a great player, and he makes me better, man. Like they make it, those guys out there make it really, really simple for me. I just gotta read the defense and throw it to whoever the defense tells me to throw it to, because they're all really good, and there's only one football. That's the bad part about it. I wish I could throw it to all of them, but it's only one football, and Garrett's a great player, and my job is to help bring out the best in him and vice versa, and that goes for all of my teammates. And so really I just want to continue to build on our chemistry. We're working extremely hard on the field, and every single day I can see the progress, and so that's a good sign, but obviously we're a long ways away and we got a lot of work to do.
When you talk Brees Hall, he talked about how y'all working out together,
yeah,
like that. How's it been getting to know him and everything?
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like, he was training in Florida, down in Miami, and, with one of my old trainers, and, I was training somewhere else, and I just kind of, left that alone. I went to where Brees was at. The minute I knew I was going to be here, it was extremely important for me to get to know him off the field, and that goes for all of my teammates as well, to get to know these guys off the field so we can develop that bond and that trust where when we step on the field, we all understand that we're playing for one another. And, Brees is a great guy. I got that feeling from him the first, moment I met him. But he's also a great player. And so, again, I want to try and bring out the best in him, and I know he's going to push me as well.
Obviously it's so early, but what are your biggest takeaways from these first 2 days about what this team is capable of?
Man, I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential in this team. I think AG is doing a great job at, showing us the vision of what he wants for the team and how he wants us to go out there and play and be Jets. And, for me, as the quarterback of the team, I know that there's a lot of work to be put in. And so I really focus on that is, try to focus on the day-to-day, just getting better, leading the guys, bringing that energy, that juice to the practice field so that we can all, go out there and execute the plays we need to. And then, as the days go by, just continuing to get better and continuing to compete. I mean, that's really all it's about.
You know the history of the history of this franchise, and obviously, how much have you thought about being the guy now to finally end that playoff streak?
Yeah, I mean, those things are so far ahead of us. Me being in the league as long as I've been, I understand that you can only focus on what's right in front of you, and that's being in the moment, staying in the moment. We want to be the best team in the world. I don't feel shy about saying that, but I understand that there's a lot of work, like I said, to be done, and you got to focus on the work. You focus on getting better every single day, and then you focus on your performance on Sundays or whenever the day comes. And it's a collective thing. We all got to make up our minds and say this is what we're going to be. And I can see that building, but it's still so early in the process.
How are you a different quarterback and a different person from the first time you were here?
I've just gotten older, a lot more experience. Overall, I've always felt like I've had talent, but I feel like my fundamentals have grown, and that's on and off the field. I feel like the leadership aspect has grown throughout my experience in the league and all the great quarterbacks that I've been around, great coordinators, as well as just, I'm a lot more calm. It's a lot less of what am I, trying to figure out what to expect. I kind of know what to expect now, and so just a lot more calm in my demeanor. You guys might notice that, but overall, still the same guy, still got the same passion for the game, still study as as hard as I did when I was, a rookie trying to figure out the NFL. And for me, it's just about getting better every day, and that's where, I put my focus.
Did you feel pressure the first time because you were such a high draft choice here?
I put a lot of pressure on myself, and the pressure for me was to go out there and, try and make something of my NFL career. And I think that goes for everybody who gets drafted into the NFL or who gets a chance in the NFL. The key thing for me back then was, put the time in, put the work in, figure out the unknowns. There's a lot of unknowns for a rookie. Now that I've, played in the league for, a number of years, there's a lot less unknowns. And so it just allows me to process things a little bit faster, but you're still learning. Anybody will tell you that. There's always going to be a lot of learning going on, in the NFL because it's, it's the best of the best, and you got to get better.
So you don't feel that type of pressure anymore?
Honestly, without, I don't want to, say this the wrong way, but I don't feel like I have any pressure, honestly. I feel really great. I feel really excited. Instead of, it being negative, it's really positive. I'm very excited about where we're headed. But, no, I don't feel any pressure.
Obviously, last year probably didn't go the way that you wanted to with the Raiders, too. Do you feel like you have something to prove after a year like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be something to prove. Whether you win a Super Bowl, you make a Pro Bowl, if you're all pro, it's a year-to-year league, and so there's always going to be something to prove, and that's internal. I don't have anything to prove to anyone outside. It's really about proving to myself and the guys inside this locker room that we can be the team that we, want to be. And we have a vision for ourselves, but all the outside noise, I've developed, a way to block it out. And, for me, I put the pressure on myself, though. There's pressure within myself to get better every single day.
What's been your impression of Cade since you've gotten a chance to get him?
Shoot, man, Cade's been doing great. He can spin the heck out of the ball. I feel like he's a guy who's always prepared. He's been preparing as if he's going to be a starter, and that's something that's important in this league. You have to prepare every single day like you're the starter, like you're going to be out there playing. That's the only way to do it, and I've seen that from him. I think he's got a bright future.
Next one here. Geno, people always love a great comeback story. So with you, have you allowed yourself to think, like, how cool it would be if you were the guy, to get this thing turned around here, considering you were here so many years ago and come back and
Yeah, I mean that'd be like a story in a movie, right? It's kind of like one of those superhero movies. But my life is based on reality, and we got to focus on, like I said, getting better every single day. God has blessed me to play in the league this long and to have an opportunity to come back here. I'm very, very grateful for that because they don't come too often. These opportunities, you have to cherish them. And that's the way I look at it. I really cherish this opportunity. I really look forward to, again, just going to practice tomorrow and trying to get better. And that's the way I'm going to treat this entire year and the entirety of the rest of my career.